right, hi, welcome back. Mark Rego-Monteiro. This is Spiritual Judo for a Sustainable Jesus. And we're still in the intro phase here. We're still getting to a little spiritual intro, but I'm doing the whole spiel. Louise Hay, right, was kind of my more explicit entry into psychosomatic medicine, still informally, right? Because Louise Hay is I now can articulate, I'm trying to articulate, a minister, right? She was actually involved in ministerial training, became a minister at the Church of Religious Science, Ernest Holmes, with Ernest Holmes, the founder. And then she developed her own ministerial approach, and so she kind of didn't really identify her original training and original training affiliation as she became a metaphysical counselor in general, but like Joseph Murphy, right, another famous, similar, comparable persona, famous writer, with a very wonderful healing, empowering, prosperity type technique, but spiritual, right? A kind of a spiritual modernization is how I like to frame it. And so Louise Hay then in You Can Heal Your Life talks about her experience. She gives a testimony, right? Is kind of the spiritual religious phraseology of that. She gives a testimony of her healing, right? Which involved her diagnosis by doctors with cancer in the genital region, and her effort then to heal herself using diverse holistic techniques, going to primarily psychotherapeutic body work, beating pillows and so on, addressing sexual abuse, child sexual abuse issues that she had suffered and understood in relationship to that disease. So, and she cured it, you know, with her diverse practices, she cured it, and so wonderful resource there. Now, more broadly in psychosomatic medicine, then where is it? Herb Benson. Want to acknowledge Herb Benson, who, when Hans Selye had written a book in the 1950s about stress called the Stress for Life. Then by 1972, Herbert Benson, MD, was looking at transcendental meditation patients and identified the power of meditation, meditative chant, and the relaxation response that results. And so he developed that concept. He labeled that response as a specific phenomenon, a healing phenomenon. And has referred to it. There's a great video that I want to look at in a more focused manner sometime, about an interview, a 1990s interview with Herb Benson, and he was referring to some of the immune system boosting properties of that process, right? So with a chant, and so that's what we're going to be getting to in a moment. And I also want to honor, though, first Carl Simonton and his cancer clinic, which he started in 1971 with his then wife, Stephanie Matthews Simonton, as they started then working with cancer patients. Simonton was an oncologist, an MD oncologist, with visualization techniques and support group work that continues up to today, even though Dr. Simonton has passed away. So, with those kind of bases, and then I also like to acknowledge Candace Pert's effort in 1985 or 6 as part of a team of collaborators for the National Institutes of Health and at Georgetown University. She identified neuroreceptors in that connect the brain and the lymphocyte, I think it is, lymph system, or the immune system in particular. So sort of touching on the actual science that is slowly and step by step in small, minuscule, minutia-oriented steps, and with interpretive challenges along the way, identifying fundamentals of psychosomatic medicine, the placebo effect, and so on. So, that said then, there's also the comparative religious side, which is what then psychosomatic medicine is itself drawing on, right? Transcendental medicine, transcendental meditation, that is. For example, drawing on Indian guru, the Indian guru approach. What have I got here? I pulled out a bunch of stuff. You know, I love I started out with Taoism myself, thanks to Houston Smith's description at the time. Right, the Tao Te Ching here in Portuguese that I work with. So, let's see. I'll do a little translation of chapter 1, which is the Tao that can be told is not the real Tao. The name that can be named is not the real name. I've got actually Stephen Miller's excellent translation. And so he says actually, the Tao that can be told is not the eternal Tao. The name that can be named is not the eternal name. The unnameable is the eternally real. Naming is the origin of all particular things. All right, take a breath. Here's a little Buddhism. The one who wishes to escape from doubt should be attentive and alert. Looking at mind and body both, he should see the causes and the origins. And I've got a text here. It's a little bit too small to read. All right, relax and breathe. And I've got the Bible here. So let's see, just start out with, "For the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want." Right, 23rd Psalm. And the beginning of the Lord's Prayer, "Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven." Right? For me, may you also be blessed. May we all be blessed. May we all be grateful for the blessings we have this day and in our lives. And for the ongoing opportunities and challenges in creating a holier life in various senses of healing and eco-social justice. And a little music. Wonderful. So, now, getting back to then the theme of the left brain knowledge base, then masks for coronavirus don't stop bubonic plague. So that's to honor the mask, the real central role of masks in this situation of the coronavirus pandemic. And yet to distinguish and to be clear that this kind of situation is an opportunity for learning and growth. If we recognize that a lot of the high-risk group people who are unfortunately and sadly, tragically dying, they have pre-existing conditions, right? The earliest statistic from Italy was 99.8% of the fatalities involve people with pre-existing conditions, and so that gets at the importance of this kind of psychosomatic medicine, not least of all, and including the lifestyle practices that it involves, right? So, okay, going to stop here. Be back in a moment.